Good morning, folks. It's a Friday. Obviously the best day of the week. Because there's no work tomorrow? No. I love my job. It's because the grandchildren sleep over. That's why. I love those crazy maniacs. You wait for them all week, and you're yelling at them 20 minutes after they're there. It's wonderful. Today is a feel-good day. You get the feel-good days a couple ways. The day you make a lot of money, or the day that you actually help somebody out. So that's what today is. I'm not making a lot of money on it. We got a phone call from her, the owner, probably a little over a week ago. Said the tank is dripping, it's weeping, and it was progressively getting worse. So I ran over there and I met with her dad, and it certainly is weeping. And these are the scary ones. It's the original tank for the house. I'll find out better once I get there. I probably in excess of 40 years old, maybe more, but I'll find out. The scary ones are when you go down and you look at the belly of the tank and you don't see any flaking. You don't see any exterior or outside corrosion. The tank's in the basement, but you see it weeping, coming right through. So that means it's rusting from the inside out. So that means that darn thing's gonna let go at any minute. You have no idea. So I'm actually anxious to see what the inside of this tank looks like when we cut it open. That'll be pretty cool, or maybe weird to some people. I don't know. I've been called weird. So we're going out there to replace that tank with a new 10-year warranty 12-gauge steel Granby tank. Craig's on his way. I think yesterday they loaded up the install trailer already, so we'll be out of here quickly. We're about 6 weeks backed up, but we canceled the job and we bumped her up in the schedule. Also, sometimes these permits with the municipality, starting that permitting process when you submit the application sometimes it takes 2 to 3 weeks just to get an approval on the application. And then you call for a scheduled date with the inspector. Then you get back to the homeowner to make sure that it works for them. Also, a lot of things going on there to get this done. But in this situation, the township, a lot of times, if you've got a good relationship with them, will let you do the work because it's considered a state of an emergency. So, because you don't want to have the tank let go and condemn the home and clean up 300 gallons from the basement, they'll actually... Looks like somebody's in there building. Well, that's never good when you look like somebody was in the building. You run over here and then you see 2 people running like deer into the fields. Okay. Get a job, man. There's a lot of businesses here that all need help. Just go get a job. Come around here stealing things from hardworking people. Ugh. I forgot what I was talking about. Well, we're gonna head out here and save this property from being condemned with the oil tank letting go. So those are fun for me. Oh, the townships. Yes, you can actually go ahead and do this. You still have to apply for the permit. You still have to start the process. You still have to get an inspection once it's complete. You still have to do all that. But a lot of times you can just actually physically go do the work. Normally you can't. So I'm not telling everybody, Brian said you don't need a permit. Let's fire her up, let's go. Not the case. Got to contact the town, let them know what you're doing. If they can expedite a permit, great. If they can get the inspector over there, great. You make an effort to do that. You don't just dispatch all your equipment and start doing jobs without permits. That's stupid. We didn't need to do that, but we have done that here. Why did I tell you this? I have no idea. To confuse you. That's why. Waiting on... I think here's a little late right now, huh? Sleeping in. A little tardy. It's in Warwick, local job. Those I love on a Friday. And we'll show you the whole process, the whole thing, start to finish. You're coming with me. Awesome, right? I don't know. I did a site inspection here too. I don't know why I didn't put in the notes that access is difficult. I don't think he needs to back in, but we do this for you, Frankie. Going on the grass a little bit. Property damage. That's coming out of his pay. Yeah, keep. Yo, all the way down. I mean, I think you could have pulled straight in, but I don't know who the heck did a site inspection here. You can go right down there. We're gonna go in the back where my truck is.
Yeah, I'm never get that.
Yeah, you will. Want me to drive? Huh?
I don't think anybody wants that, right?
Yeah? I don't know, you just got to jack it hard and cut real close to those rocks right there. You're good. Come on, man.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Where's the confidence?
Well, I mean, I can see that I'm not gonna make it.
Well, yeah, you are. I don't know why you say that.
I'm gonna go on the grass.
No, you won't. Go ahead. Turn it hard. Turn it hard. Turn it hard. Turn it hard. You're going good. Going good. All you gotta do is go straight. Right back to the dead grass. That's as close as we'll get. Straight back, yeah. You're good. Straighten it out now. That's good right there. Perfect. See? Now you've given them room to come around with their dirt bike. Right? See? That's thinking. So here's our access end. Here's the tank. She's an old one. You can see it's dripping into the pan they set up. That is the fill in the vent headed out. Going to try to reuse those. So in order to reuse them, first thing I got to do is cut this and this. So I'll put a Sawzall on that, maybe without pumping it. We can get to that bone, so maybe not, but we'll figure it out. New tank's going there. When you see that from the duplex, it runs a second unit, which is the actual hot water heater. So one runs the burner furnace, the other runs the hot water heater. So normally when that happens, the lines going to the burner and the hot water heater are 3/8. So normally the main feed going to the two, you make a 1/2 inch. In the event that if both units kick on at the same time, it's actually going to starve it. So you may get air bled into the system. So you would normally go with a 1/2 inch here to those. But a lot of times, if something's working and it ain't broke, you don't fix it. You want that other door open?
That's it. Hi, Jim.
And there's the same situation where it's installed and the seam is in the back. I know you always hear me talk about putting a swing joint on this to get the proper pitch for the fill. That's what happens when you don't. Can you imagine if we were not prepared for that? There's no swing joint here. It's just out and then a 90. Okay, we are pumping now. Gonna get the bulk of this out and then we'll throw a Sawzall on it. We'll have plenty of pads around us just in case there's a catastrophe when we start the Sawzall. Okay, we are done pumping. We're disconnected here. Very good, Craig. Cut that off. Kinked the, because you can never trust those Firematic shutoffs anymore. So we will now, we'll cut the return and suction line right here with a duplex. Put our Sawzall in, cut out a nice large piece. Alright, Sam's going to begin to clean. That's pretty cool. That's a whistle vent. So how that works is when the oil comes up, right here, the air is going out. Then when the oil rises up, it hits that, it covers it, and then lifts up and shuts it off. So it stops it from whistling. That's how it notifies the oil man outside that he can turn it off. Get off his cell phone, stop smoking his cigarette, and turn it off. Samuel has a different technique. I told Mike that's how I would do it. While it was still liquidy, I would scrape it down. Right? Yeah, because then when you scoop it out, you're going to get more. Me and Sam think alike. Sam's the only one with a college degree. So, that's probably why we think alike. Ain't that right, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I know. I just asked Sam to be righty when he's lefty. For you folks. So you can see the satisfying scooping. Mike is going to make fun of that technique. Yeah, you see the way Mike does it. He's like so gentle. He leaves the bucket on the ground. There you go, Sam. Now he's playing with the camera. Just to let you know, I just went to the local pool. I've given Sam an ultimatum. If we don't get 1,000 subscribers, he's fired. So, if you guys care about Sam at all, get some subscribers. This is nonsense.
Yeah, it's like filmy. It's weird.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of water in it.
Yeah.
Never seen that one.
No, I was going to say. basically made no sense, but
No, he's clearing the spot.
clearing an area.
You never seen Mike do that?
Yeah, but normally it's like at one side. You did center.
It's alright, Jim.
Now
We
you,
can't use that.
now you can work both sides.
I'll have to move the bucket.
There you go.
Sacrificing for you.
There.
Don't forget a calf shot. That's that wonderful calf.
So I was discussing with you guys earlier before we even got here, when I came out initially and it was weeping, I didn't see any flaking on the bottom of the tank, which is always a big concern because then it's leaking or it's corroding from the inside out. So I said I was going to investigate once we cleaned it. So we cleaned it. Go ahead, Sam. And if you look right there in that area,
Right here. Looks pretty
that's actually where it was leaking out through that, and it's from the inside out.
All of it's pretty good.
I'm sure we'll find more once we get it outside. But these things, and you get a little drip, and then people actually put magnets on it. Magnets is not going to do anything. Replace the tank. I also have mentioned on these above ground tank installations, we use a top duplex right here with the return and suction. It goes down to the bottom of the tank, and then we pull it up about 3 or 4 inches so the sludge buildup doesn't get sucked in. A lot of people use these bottom feeds. You can clearly see all the sludge right there. So and there was a bottom feed on this, I'll show you. So if you're forced to use a bottom feed, you use a sludge drop tube, or you make your own piece of tube and you put it in, and then you have that tube come up from 4 inches. So the burner draws the oil above it. Otherwise, this is just gonna go right into it, and the tank normally is pitched to the drain, but that's one of the many problems with this because the water was in it. It wasn't properly pitched to the drain plug, and the drain plug wasn't designed, set up, or being utilized to drain out any water. What do you think of that, Craig?
Great explanation.
Okay, very good. So here is, it actually was running off that. So why do you think they stopped and used the top duplex? Because that's clogged with crap. So the tank with the seam in the back. So we had all kinds of issues or violations on this. I think we saved a life today. I do. Okay, all right. Apparently this is our new way of, let me get out of here first, Sam. Go ahead. Of cutting these tanks and carrying them out. It's certainly not easier cutting, but it seems easier carrying.
This side, yes.
Did we just stumble onto greatness?
Much or too little?
You can see where that hole right there was beginning. Or that's actually where it was leaking. And you can see that was clearly clogged. When you see moisture like that on the inside of a tank, you know there's water in the vessel. Seems like everyone's running out of gas, including me. I don't even think it was a difficult week. It was an emotional week. With the dump. The dump was emotional, and then my old stomping ground, Highland Sopus up there, Bosie's. And now apparently I took a sauna in the middle of the day. You definitely don't slam the side of the door openings with this. I would. I'm short.
Which way want to go? This way?
All right, we'll sweep up, clean up back here. Out with the old, in with the new. Installed correctly. You know, as your above ground tank gets older, you know, the manufacturer parts inside of it, they begin to fail. And you really don't know it. So this is the second tank in 2 weeks where we saw the float pipe, the float actually just disintegrated off and stayed inside. So this is the fill. This is where all the oil came into the tank. So that you had that whistle vent, that shut off whistle vent obviously wasn't working because that's the vent pipe. And look at all the oil that's coming back from it. That means the tank was overfilled. You know, the bottom suction stopped working. The vent alarm shut off. It's got a little ball cock on it. That stopped working. The sight gauge stopped working. Nothing was working on the interior of this tank. But on the outside, everything looked fine. So, this is exciting. This is what's cool about this. That tank was there maybe 40 or 50 years. So we were a part of removing that. I'd like to see the story on when it actually went in. But now we're a part of this new one, which is going to go another 40 or 50 years. So it's going to keep families inside this home warm for the next 40 or 50 years. That's a beautiful thing. Ain't that right, kids?
You know it.
They don't feel what I feel. So here's where I brag a little bit about the company. Obviously, you see those two coming down. We slide this tank this way, they'll go right in. We're done. We're out of here in 40 minutes. But it's not going to be within code there. It's not going to be 5 feet from an ignitable source. So we've got to push that tank all the way over. If we do that, we've just added 2 hours worth of measuring, cutting, threading for the fill in the vent. But that's the right way to do it. So that's how we're going to do it. That pipe configuration went in without a hitch. We've got a proper pitch on actually both. going together nicely. So we're gonna flip the pump around, run the hoses back down. Probably got about 20 gallons of oil in these hoses, so that'll be a little tricky when we uncap it in there and then recap in. All right, there it is, nice red oil going back in. So there's the new Scully with cap and mushroom cap. It's all concreted, caulked. We'll just finish painting that up. We'll put that bit of dirt back and then we'll go look at the tank inside. Okay folks, another crisis averted here. This is the final product. Legs are painted. Wonderful configuration there, Craig.
Yes, sir.
That's all painted. Your burner just kicked on. So that's it. We are completed in here. A little sweeping up, a little cleaning up. Tank's 3/4 full. That is another fine job by Tank Masters Environmental.